I was never punished by being told to kneel on rice because we didn't have extra rice to spare, okay? And in Latin culture, what they used to discipline you with was simply a sign of your family's economical status. And yes, la chancla es universal. You could be rich, you could be poor, and a chancletazo could hit you out of fucking nowhere at any moment's notice. But I remember this one time, we were at a family function, and I did something. I think I was throwing a ball up against the wall, and my dad had repeatedly told me to not throw the ball against the wall. But I'm a child. I think I was like 5 or 6. And I'm like, fuck this dude, right? And he didn't have a belt on that day, okay? So at the very least, I wasn't going to get belted. And he grabs me by the arm, and he looks at my uncle. Dame la correa tuya. He borrowed a belt from his brother so that he could hit me with his brother. You understand the psychological trauma that induces on a child, okay? I can't get away with nothing. At any moment, this motherfucker could take anything borrowed and hit me with it. I remember one time, my mom, we were outside, we were cleaning mangoes in the backyard. We were raking the mangoes. Something that you don't think about mangoes. If you have a mango tree in your backyard, that shit falls to the ground. Y los mimes, the gnats all over the fucking place. So you every single weekend, you have to pick up all the rotten mangoes off the ground, put them in a bag, make sure it's and throw it in the trash. We were picking up the mangoes. I don't know what I did to bother my mom, but we were barefoot en el patio, ¿la? And this woman got mad, and she started literally chucking mangoes at my head. I know that sounds funny, but it's terrifying, all right? You're in 11. I could be a championship dodgeball player, bro. Like, you can't get me with that shit. But she did get me. She got me that day. The next time that it happened, she didn't get me because I had practice. I don't know if Latin parents, si especialmente padre puertorriqueño, I don't know if they're preparing you for, like, war situations or what the fuck is going on, but we're ready. Tú me entiendes? The abuse, the punishment, the trauma. I don't trust people thanks to my parents because I couldn't even trust them. Thank you. I guess thank you for the distrust. Thank you for making me distrust you because now I don't trust anyone. And I don't know if that's a good thing. My point is the whole kneeling on rice thing, okay? When I remember a friend of mine told me, oh, yeah, like my knees hurt today porque ayer la mamá mía told me, she bought out a bag of rice, lo tiró en el piso y me hizo estar ahí 30 minutos. I'm like, your family, your mother, like una libra de arroz, she wasted a pound of rice, put it on the ground, and then had you kneel on it? He's like, yeah. I'm like, my mother we would never throw away that rice. Are you crazy? That means that you're doing it. That means that you're rich. If you're able to throw away a pound of rice, in my mentality growing up, you were rich, motherfucker. You shouldn't even be complaining. That's nothing, okay? That's nothing. Kneeling, eso no es tres carajo. Try getting lashes on the back like Jesus Christ, because that's what you start. And Latin parents know, bro. I saw, because there's abuse and then there's abuse, all right? There was a kid in the neighborhood. He used to get punched by his dad. But his dad would punch him, aquí. And it wasn't hard. I know that this seems like I'm defending this type of behavior. I'm not trying to defend it at all. Don't hit your kids unless you have. I don't know what to tell. I'm not a parent, so I can't give you parental advice. I am just literally explaining what I saw, what I went through, my life. And I remember seeing a father punch his kid in the ribs, and it worked. Why do I say that it worked? Because everyone else in his family sold narcotics, okay? And he grew up to not sell narcotics but to be a cop, which I don't know if it's better or worse. It's definitely better. Let's be honest. It's definitely better, all right? It's better. Okay, I don't like cops neither, but I'm just saying the contrary, the contrast to that, the other side of that coin was much worse. And all of that came from him being punched in the wrist by his dad. Some people nowadays need to punch I'm not saying that. No way am I'm not being for real, but at the same time, it has worked in the past. Maybe there's new ways now. It's not AI, it's not ChatGPT. So my family was, I guess, middle class. We were middle class. I got mangoes thrown at me. One time my mom took one of those the Bad Bunny chairs, those plastic white chairs, and she just fucking chucked that shit at me. I don't remember what I did. It couldn't have been that bad, honestly. I've never done anything like that bad to my parents or to my family where I deserve a white plastic Bad Bunny chair chucked at my head. I've never done any, I've never been in that much trouble, okay? I've been able to fucking maneuver my way out of it. And I guess it's just, mental health trauma that they had been going through. I can't imagine what they had done to them. But yeah, how did your parents used to discipline you? What was the worst thing that you got hit with growing up? Think about that. And not that it was the most painful thing, no, but the worst thing that you got hit with growing up, because they just make it up out of fucking nowhere. I remember my dad threw an anchor at me, like a boat anchor. For some reason, we had an anchor in the back of the, it was outside in el patio. I don't know. We had an anchor and we would use it as a doorstop sometimes. And this motherfucker picked up the anchor and just like threw. If he would have hit me with the anchor, I would have been dead. What was your intention was to kill me? Like I don't understand. It's like there's no thought process. There's like 0 to 100, or to 1,000. It's from no anchor throwing to here's an anchor. Watch the fuck out. If you don't duck this, you're going to die. So I have great survival skills, is what I'm saying, and most Latinos do. That's why we're still around. If you've been at the same job for a long time, please correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't your job, and what makes your job harder is the people that you're working with, and it's never the job? Porque el trabajo no cambia. Let's say you've been in the same position for 15 years like moi, right? My job has fluctuated between being hard, being easy, kind of in the middle, based on the people that I'm working with or for. You understand? It's never me. It's never the job. The job is the job. Even if you work at an office job, even if you're a fucking lawyer, bro, even if you're a lawyer, the law is the fucking law. ¿Tú me estás entendiendo? If you're a plumber, pipes are pipes, okay? If you're a musician, music is music. You write it, you don't, you play how you're supposed to play. It's always the people that are around you that will either facilitate you to do your job better and easier, or normally they're just assholes and make your life harder. Because let me tell you, I am dying to quit my job because it is one of those seasons where it's getting harder, because I work, let's say, corporate America, ¿verdad? And in corporate America, I hate the speech, I hate the talk. Your coworkers are not family. Okay? The pizza that you're having on Friday, it wasn't free. You worked for it. They're not gifting you fucking shit. Okay? You need to correct that mindset, that thought process that they have you believing that, oh my God, we're all friends. We're not friends. I didn't even select to see you today. You get it? Like, how are we friends when we cannot be friends if I never decide when I want to see you? If I'm obligated to see you, this is not a friendship. We might as well be in jail. I'm forced to see you every fucking day. I didn't decide to see you and you think we're friends. I didn't go out of my way to see you. I'm just here working, bro. And you think, oh, you're my best friend? Nah, bitch, I'm not your best friend. And normally I have noticed as well that managers, you need to ask yourselves, did you get that position because you're that much better than everyone else at your job? Or is it because you don't ask any questions? I think that most managers are managers because they don't ask any questions and they're hoes. And they listen to their pimps, all right? The pimp says go and fuck that person over, and that's what the manager does because you're a hoe. Most managers are hoes, all right? And you're just listening to your pimp. I'm a pimp. And when, okay, I will bring myself down. Let me go with the same analogy. I'm a hoe, but I'm a classy escort. I will spend time with you. I ain't doing nothing. And if you ask me to do something, I'm going to say no. I'm here to do what I'm here to do. I am a companion. I am here to spend, and this is not my job. You understand? You understand the analogy? The analogy is that if I'm old, right, I get paid to accompany you somewhere. You take me to a game, and I look good next to you. That's my job. But if you want to suck it happy, not my job. I'm not doing that. You need to go to another hole. You understand? I ask questions. I say no all the time. Stop saying yes at jobs. It's not getting you nowhere that you actually want to go. It's this idea that they're implementing in your mind. Most managers are grabbed by the balls. You see, once you get more money, you spend more money, and then you have an incapability of to stop spending that money because now you got 5 kids, or let's say you got 2 kids. All right, how you can you quit your job if you have 2 kids? That's insane to me. If you have 2 kids, ¿verdad? And you're working in the army, and they tell you, listen, tú tienes que eliminar, you gotta food those 3 people over there, or your kids don't eat. Guess what you're likely going to do? You're going to foot those 3 people because that's the system. They get you into it, and then there's no fucking way out. You're trapped. You're trapped in the system. And most people, most don't have the balls. Let me loosen mine. Don't have the balls to actually do shit about shit. You understand? Most people don't want to fight. Most people want to maintain the status quo. Most people have a lot to lose. That's how it's done. They give you so much to lose that you're unwilling to lose it. You're unwilling to lose that little vacation that you're going to take to fucking Aruba next year. Next year, because you can't take it right now. And God forbid you get sick because there's so many questions. And bring a doctor. I thought we were family. If I tell a family member I'm sick and they're asking me for a doctor's note, I'll tell that family member to go fuck off. If you can't tell that like that person at work that, oh, you were sick and they believe you, that's not family, bitch. That's your pimp. You got to listen to your pimp. Oh, he going to pimp slap you. You understand what I'm saying? You understand where I'm going with this? I think it's very important for us to know where we stand. And that is why people are just subjected to shit nowadays. Hazing is no longer going into a fraternity or a sorority. It is no longer just in schools. It is at every single workplace. You got to be a bitch. You got to listen to what they tell you. Otherwise, you lose everything. You can't make a mistake in this country. You can't have a car accident because there goes all your life savings. You can't break a bone. You can't work. You're fucked now. This is the system that we're in. And normally I try to make light of it, and I think I did. I think I did a pretty good job at the start. But let's get real. Is it working out? Is everyone happy? Who do you know that is happy right now? Who do you know? I don't know not one happy motherfucker that is intelligent. Dumb motherfuckers that are happy, all of them. All of them are happy. They have no fucking idea. They're happy because, they could eat a fucking donut on Saturday. That's a moron. That's a moron to me. If you're happy because you could afford food, that's stupid to me. Like, that's stupid. I understand it's necessity. You're surviving that. But that's not the same as us being a collective. I don't see it. I don't see it anywhere in the world, if I'm being honest. And I haven't visited monk monasteries or some shit. I'm just saying from what you see online, what is readily available for us to see. Para mí que nadie es feliz en este momento. I pretend to be happy, but I'm waiting for something to happen so that I can let go of all of this anger, of all of this resentment that I have. I don't think I'm the only person that is quietly angry. I think most people are quietly angry, and we just can't find actual happiness. Most people laugh and smile for a second, and then we all become that Kanye, that, oh my God, I gotta go to work tomorrow. You remember that you're a bitch, that you have to do bitch things, that you can't live how you want to. And some people, if you are living how you want to, I would question if it's what you really want or it's what you're told to want. Like, you haven't even had a moment to think. And that's how they keep us. That's how they keep us. They keep us with the television, with the Marvels and the fucking the Kardashians and the this and the that, and there's a war over there, and look at the pictures and over there, and someone got shot, but don't worry, you got to go to this. And you're literally wasting so much time in knowing other people's business so that you can never decide what your business is going to be. That's the world that we live in. Why? Because porque así lo necesitan los ricos. They can't have you thinking. They can't have you being smart. I really wonder when someone says that they're smart if they realize what they're saying. I think I am dumb as fuck. But compared to most people, sure, I understand it. But in reality, I see myself as low on the totem pole because I am talking to you right now. And you won't see this until late. You get what I'm saying? Like, in order for me to consider myself smart, this can't be the situation that we're in. I have two gay dads in my life. Not my dad. My dad's dead. I'm saying that I know two men that happen to be gay and also happen to be fathers. And I have to say, gay dads are better than lesbian mothers. Why? Because, porque, first of all, they don't celebrate Mother's Day. And every single L that I've seen likes to celebrate Father's Day. Like, oh, porque yo soy madre y padre. I am the mother and the father. No, you're not. You could just be a mother. You could say that you have extra duties. I've never seen a gay father say that he celebrates mother too because the mother's not around because they're raising the child by itself. It's never happened, and it might happen. Okay, los dos gay que yo conozco son cool gays. They're old school. They're in my mind old school gays, not new sensitive. No, they make fun of themselves and of me. For instance, if we're walking down the street, me and my wife are two gay dudes, and someone's mean mugging them because of their lifestyle, and it's a straight dude, a straight guy hates for a gay couple to be like, oh, you look familiar. When they hear that, oh, no, me, because, the implication, the insinuation es que I saw you last night, or yo te he visto in one of my circles. I've seen you around. I've seen you not around. I've seen you bend over. I've seen you bent down. You get what I'm saying? So straight homophobic men, they hate when a gay dude says, oh, you look familiar, and they love doing it. And I laugh every fucking time. It's one of those jokes that never gets old, especially because it's always a new stranger and it's always the same fucking reaction. Imagine that, okay? And they make fun of us too because, we're a straight couple, they're a gay couple. The way that they do things seems like it's working out for them. And sometimes the way that we do things doesn't seem like it's working out for us. And I have to say, they got the secret, okay? What is the secret? Por el culo. El culo es el secreto. I've told my wife, listen, abre las nalgas de vez en cuando. I'm just saying, they are happy. And they got one hole. You got two holes. Maybe we should be, venturing on the other hole. It's just an idea, like they haven't clearly said it. They've insinuated to it. Oh, qué difícil, ah, tienes dos puertas y solamente te dejan usar uno. Imagine having a house with two doors, right? And you're always using the same door. You never use the other door. What the fuck? Yes, the other door, you normally use it just to throw out the trash. But sometimes you could, bring a passerby through the back. You understand what I'm saying? But going back to my original thought, lo que verdaderamente quiero dialogar es que why is it, especially Latin lesbians, they always have to say that their mother and father, or even just single mothers in general, cuando son Latina, no, yo soy madre y padre. Stop that. Stop it. Why? Because porque do you feel the need to say that? Why is it such a thing for you to get this recognition? What is that about? Porque why can't you just be happy being a mother? It's a beautiful thing. Sometimes. Another deal for a piece of land in Puerto Rico fell through. I am just about to give up on this dream of mine of owning land back in the homeland. ¿Tú me entiendes? Porque la idea era comprar un terreno, buying land, and then building a house on it, a container home of all things, so that I can have a place to go, so that I can have a place to rent out when I'm not there, so that I can have passive income, something a Puerto Rican that was raised on the island can make money from and contribute to the island, because I plan on going there more often if I don't no longer have to pay for a hotel. You get it? Make a business, do something. Like, esa era la idea. But again, it fell through. Was it because of my doing? Was it because of the realtors doing? Was it because the sellers are dumb as fuck? I don't really know, but here's the situation. The contract of buying land in Puerto Rico makes absolutely zero sense. There's literally a good faith clause. De buena fe. Si tú actúas de buena fe. I don't know about you, but I don't trust in anybody's good faith. I want to see if we're talking about a certain amount of days that we have to close in, because the standard contract stipulates that as soon as you give a deposit, you have 45 days to close. So that's 45 days where you have to do everything that the government requires to do. If you have to do some testing, if they have to see you, blah, 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 anything, 45 days. Unless something happens and out of good faith, the seller, the person that's selling the property will then extend the agreed upon time. But out of good faith, Otherwise, they're able to keep your deposit if you did something wrong. The only way that your money gets back to you is if the bank or la cooperativa says, we're not going to give you the loan anymore because of X, Y, and Z. You need that in paper and then you get your deposit back. So I'm going to explain to you my situation. I had this place picked out. They were selling it for 90 grand. I offered 70 knowing that they were going to come back with something. I wanted to buy it for 80 and bada bing bada boom, 80 is what they wanted. I'm like, perfect. Okay, cool, 80. But here's the stipulation. The loan that I am getting is a very particular type of loan porque es de terreno y construcción. So I want the land, but I also want to construct on it. And with that type of loan, a través del banco, a través de la cooperativa, they pay for everything. I don't have to, my pockets don't have to bleed by having to give 3%, 10%, 20%. Because if you're only buying the land, los bancos de allá, la cooperativa de allá, they will only give you 75%. So you have to fork away 25% off the bat. And then if you're planning to construct, then that's a whole nother loan. Now you're two loans in instead of the one loan. And in my case, this loan, they pay for everything. Everything is covered under that loan. You get it? So the cost of the land and the building of the container home. I'm talking to the container home people. They've been great. I was talking to the bank person, la persona hipotecaria. She's been great. The one that gives the mortgages away. Everybody, except the realtor was kind of unwilling to tell me the truth because I said, listen, the bank, la cooperativa, will only give the sellers the entirety of the money if the land passes the permits. If the land doesn't pass the permits, then la cooperativa is not going to pay. And to pass those permits, it has to go through the fucking government of Puerto Rico, which is slow as fuck. So the container people, they tell me at the very least it might take 3 months. So you got to tell them that it's going to take 3 months, and they have to be comfortable with us doing digging up the land or whatever the fuck it is that they have to do in order to get the permit. So you got to talk to the owner so that they can allow us to get on the land so that we could do a process and send that to the government, and the government has to come and they got to verify everything that we said. And it's a process that's going to take at least 3 months or at max 3 months. And I'm like, listen, I was very upfront with the realtor. I'm like, you got to tell this to your sellers. And what do I receive? I get an email saying, you have 72 hours to sign. This whole thing took about a month and a half of us discussing the price, of me saying the type of loan, and it's this type of loan. And if you're not okay with that, please let me know, but we got to put it in the contract. It has to say in the contract that this is subject to the land passing its permits approval. Otherwise, I'm not signing the contract. I don't feel comfortable telling you, yeah, okay, let's do this when I know that at any moment it could fall through, when I know it's going to take longer. So why would I sign a contract that says 45 days or 60? Because to be honest, they extended it. They extended it knowing that I don't live over there. I'm like, listen, you're saying 45 days, but I don't live over there, so anything could happen, and it might take me a little bit longer to get over there to maneuver my life, to schedule my life accordingly. So, por favor, podemos extenderlo un poquito más de 45 días, sí, 60 días, 60 days. I'm like, okay, that's 2 months. I'm not going to argue with you. And then I come to the realization that the permits need to be approved in order for that loan. Otherwise, I am stuck in a two-loan situation, which nobody wants to be stuck in, because now it's two cuenta, and it's just more money that I have to fork over, and I'm not making anything from it yet, because that's just to get the process started. I don't even know when the house will be built so that I could start making money off of it, or that I could just travel over there and just stay at the house. You understand what I'm saying? What is the problem with being honest about business in Puerto Rico? ¿Por qué tú tirijala, this fucking thing back and forth? I had to call the owner of the realty company because the realtor no longer wanted to talk to me. Understand that I was I had approached the realtor and I said, this is the loan. I approached the realtor of Puerto Rico saying the loan is subject to the permits being approved, right? Please tell that to the seller, to your client. She says, okay, I'm going to tell them. Doesn't say anything for 2 weeks, then comes back at me after I'm like, hey, listen, did you get the email? Did you talk to your client? What's going on? Next day 7 o'clock in the morning, the email. You have 72 hours to sign the contract. We're tired of waiting. I'm like, you haven't told me if you accept the stipulations that I told you. I have no problem signing the contract and giving you a deposit if the contract stipulates, if the contract has a clause saying this is going to take months because the permits have to be approved. And not to mention that it had already been for sale for 5 months. It's not moving anywhere. You understand? There's another place that's been for sale for over a year. That's the one that I'm looking into now. But I'm getting tired of this. What puertorriqueño, ¿qué nos está pasando? ¿Por qué somos tan telco, tan bruto? Like, you have a piece of land that's not doing anything there. If you're interested in getting cash only, say that from the get-go. I have no problem. Don't waste my fucking time. ¿Tú me estás entendiendo? Es tan difícil, es tan difícil. It's hard to accept that your people are dumb. And I have to accept that Puerto Ricans right now, you look dumb. You're acting dumb. You're doing business dumb. Por eso es que la isla está como está. Somos brutos, somos telcos, somos unas personas con orgullo sin razón, orgullo bruto, orgullo de qué carajo, puñeta. And it's very frustrating. It brings me a lot of sadness. It brings me a lot of anger. I don't know how to actually continue without mentioning this. Tú sabes, because this is a very sensitive topic where what I am saying is 1,000% real, and it's gonna hurt people's feelings. And at the same time, people's feelings need to be hurt so they understand what it is that they're doing, how they're hurting the country, how they're hurting their pockets, how they're hurting future business. Because once again, my plan, la idea mía es el yo poder comprar un terreno, construir una casa, sea de contenedor, sea de cemento, buy the land, build a house, a container home, a cement home, whatever the fuck it has to be, and then pass along this information so that other Puerto Ricans are able to do the same. A streamlined way of how you can just look on Zillow, look on Clasificados online, look wherever the fuck they're posting properties that are for sale in Puerto Rico, and you know exactly what to do. You know exactly how long it's going to take you. You know the ins and outs of the money that they don't tell you up front, but you know you're going to have to spend, and that they're making it impossible. So if you ever wonder why Gringolandia is taking over fucking Puerto Rico, it's because they got the time to waste. They got the money to waste. They could just sit back, or they got the cash to streamline it immediately. Because if I had $500,000 cash right now, everyone would be like, oh, aquí Señor Junior. I think it's hilarious when the people call me Señor Junior. It's like, just call me Junior. Señor and Junior don't go together. That's stupid. You sound stupid when you say that. You understand what I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm just frustrated, and I have the right to be frustrated.